Yo, time to wake 'em up!
Bonjour et bienvenue sur Discover 360. J'espère que cette chaîne vous plaira. Elle est consacrée à l'intelligence artificielle, au voyage et à la tech.
Yo, check the mic, 1, 2.
N'oubliez pas de souscrire. Bonne écoute.
Next cipher begin.
All right, so let's get right into it. It seems like Wall Street has finally cracked the code, you know? They found the new magic formula for making profits just explode. And, believe it or not, it all comes down to just two letters, AI. We're talking about a brand new kind of gold rush, and you better believe companies are going all in, betting that this is going to lead to some truly massive returns. Okay, check out this number right here, plus 16%. That was the one-day stock surge for the fintech company Block back in February 2024. Now, a 16% jump in a single day, that is huge. I mean, investors were obviously over the moon about something. So the big question is, what exactly was it?
Well, here's your answer, and it's a bit of a shocker. All that excitement from the market, it was a direct response to Block announcing a huge restructuring. They laid off over 4,000 people. I mean, that's a staggering 40% of their entire workforce. And they did it all while moving to what they're calling an AI-first model, which basically just means they're rebuilding the whole company from the ground up to let AI handle as much of the core work as possible.
So this gets us right into our first section, because you've got to understand, this isn't just a story about one company. Oh no, this is about a whole new strategy that investors are rewarding like crazy. It's almost like AI-driven layoffs have become Wall Street's new favorite thing.
And if you want to know why investors are so excited, just look at the math. It's pretty straightforward. Before this big AI push, Block had more than 10,000 employees, and their operating margin was at 20%. Now, after cutting the workforce down to under 6,000 people, what's the new target? A 26% margin. I mean, for Wall Street, the equation couldn't be simpler or more attractive. Fewer people equals way more profit. Okay, so moving into our next section, you'll see how this whole thing starts to build. Because what happened at Block, that was not a one-off. Not at all. It's actually part of a much bigger trend, a new corporate playbook that's being picked up all across the tech industry.
And this quote from HP, man, it just perfectly captures the new mindset. Do more with fewer people. That's pretty much the mantra of this entire era. The whole goal is to create these smaller, leaner teams where just one employee can, command this whole army of virtual AI-powered colleagues.
And you just have to look at who's using this playbook. It's basically a who's who of the tech world. We're talking Microsoft, Salesforce, Amazon, IBM, Accenture, Oracle, all of them. They've all gone through these massive layoffs, and every single time they point to the productivity gains they're getting from AI as a major reason why.
And the numbers here are just, well, they're staggering. Take this one, $500 million. That's how much Microsoft says it saved in just 1 year. That's $500 million, and most of that came from using AI to make their call centers more efficient, while of course cutting thousands of jobs. So these aren't just some theoretical gains. We're talking about massive, real-world savings.
So where is this all happening exactly? Well, you can kind of break it down into a few key areas. First, you've got internal stuff, right? Think HR, where IBM is using its tool, AskRH, to handle a bunch of tasks. Then there's the customer-facing side, like customer support. Companies like Salesforce are swapping out human agents for AI. And then, of course, there's software development itself. Microsoft's Copilot is now writing, get this, 35% of the code for their new products, according to Microsoft themselves.
But there's a whole other side to this coin. For all this talk about efficiency and profits, there's a real hidden human cost. And that brings us to our third section, looking at the burden that falls on the employees who actually don't get laid off, the ones left behind.
Yeah, there's actually a term for this. It's called survivor syndrome. It's a very real psychological thing that happens to the people who keep their jobs after a huge layoff. They're often dealing with this really toxic mix of feelings. Anxiety, like, am I next? Guilt over their friends who were let go, and just a major drop in their motivation and trust in the company.
And that internal feeling, it has very real external consequences. Get this, one survey found that a whopping 81% of these survivors say the quality of their company's customer service has actually gotten worse. It just goes to show, right? When your team is anxious and demoralized, it shows in the work.
So really, it's the perfect example of a two-sided coin. On one side, you've got the big headline number, the celebrated efficiency, that 26% profit margin Block is aiming for. But on the other side, you've got the human cost for the people who are still there. Less trust in their bosses, way lower morale, and here's the kicker, ultimately lower productivity.
which of course is the exact opposite of what the company was trying to achieve in the first place. And all this focus on short-term gains brings up a huge long-term risk, which is what we're going to get into in our fourth section. By optimizing everything for immediate efficiency using AI, are we accidentally creating a future where there are no junior employees? I mean, look at this data from Stanford researchers. It's pretty eye-opening. Between late 2022 and the middle of 2024, hiring for junior developers in the US dropped by almost 20%. And the reason is simple. AI is getting really good at handling all those basic entry-level coding jobs. But during that same time, hiring for senior developers, the experienced folks who can supervise and fix what the AI does, went up by about the same amount. The whole industry is shifting its focus away from new talent. And this leads to this massive, almost existential question for the entire industry. I mean, think about it. If AI automates all the entry-level work, where young people learn how to do the job, and companies just stop hiring them, where are the senior experts of tomorrow supposed to come from? You can't just magically become a senior. You have to be a junior first. Okay, so this all brings us to our final section, because this trend, which really kicked off in the tech world, is now spreading everywhere, and it forces us to ask the big, central question of this whole transformation. Are we just chasing productivity, no matter what the cost is?
And guess what? The next frontier isn't on the horizon, it's already here. That do more with less playbook is being adopted like wildfire by other sectors that handle a lot of data. We're talking banking and insurance especially. They see the exact same potential for AI to help them restructure and slash costs.
I mean, just look at this. The banking giant BNP Paribas has publicly announced a target. They want to generate 750 million euros in value from AI by 2026. So yeah, this is not just a tech thing anymore, not by a long shot. It's quickly becoming the new normal for how big companies everywhere think about efficiency. So this is where we land. For years, tech leaders have dreamed about building the 10x more productive company, and it really looks like AI is the tool that could finally make it a reality. But the question has changed, It's not if AI will change jobs anymore. It's how companies, and really all of us, are going to deal with the fallout. What's the right balance between this incredible new efficiency and the very real human cost? Is this new era of productivity really worth it at any price?